You're eating well, you're trying to sleep enough, and you're still exhausted by 2 in the afternoon. Your weight won't budge no matter what you change. Your mood swings feel completely out of your control. If any of this sounds familiar, there's a good chance nobody has ever told you the real reason why. And it might not be about willpower or discipline at all. It might be your hormones. Today, we're breaking down 7 signs your hormones could be out of balance, what's actually happening inside your body when this occurs, and what you can start doing about it. Welcome back to VitaRoot Health, the channel where we simplify nutrition science and functional medicine research so you can actually understand what's happening inside your body instead of just guessing. If you've been with us for the last few videos, you already know we love connecting the dots between symptoms that seem unrelated on the surface but actually trace back to the same underlying cause, and hormones are one of the biggest examples of that. Quick reminder before we start, this channel is independent, not affiliated with any specific doctor, and everything shared here is for educational purposes only, not medical advice or diagnosis. If you're experiencing persistent symptoms, please talk to your own healthcare provider, since blood work is really the only way to confirm what's actually going on. Now, let's get into the 7 signs. The first sign is persistent fatigue that doesn't improve with rest. We're not talking about the normal tiredness you feel after a late night or a demanding week. We're talking about a deep, ongoing exhaustion that's still there even after a full night's sleep. This kind of fatigue is often connected to imbalances in thyroid hormones, cortisol, or even blood sugar regulating hormones like insulin. Your thyroid, for example, essentially controls your body's metabolic rate, and when thyroid hormone levels are too low, a condition called hypothyroidism, one of the most common symptoms is exactly this kind of unshakable fatigue that no amount of coffee or sleep seems to fix. The second sign is unexplained weight changes, whether that's gaining weight despite no real change in diet or exercise, or struggling to lose weight no matter how consistent you are. Hormones like insulin, cortisol, and thyroid hormones all play a direct role in how your body stores and burns fat. When these hormones are imbalanced, your body can essentially become resistant to the usual rules of calories in versus calories out, which is incredibly frustrating if you don't understand what's actually happening beneath the surface. This is one of the most common reasons people feel like they're doing everything right, but still not seeing results. The third sign is mood swings, anxiety, or irritability that seem to come out of nowhere. Hormones don't just regulate physical processes, they have a massive influence on brain chemistry and emotional regulation as well. Estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, and thyroid hormones all interact with neurotransmitters in the brain, which is part of why hormonal shifts, whether from stress, the menstrual cycle, or thyroid issues, can cause mood changes that feel disproportionate to what's actually happening in your life. If you've ever felt like your emotional reactions don't match the situation, and it feels almost cyclical or unpredictable, hormones are worth looking into. The fourth sign is disrupted sleep, particularly trouble falling asleep, waking up frequently throughout the night, or waking up far earlier than intended and being unable to fall back asleep. Cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone, follows a natural daily rhythm, typically higher in the morning to help you wake up and lower at night to allow you to wind down. When this rhythm becomes disrupted, often due to chronic stress, it can flip the pattern, leaving you wired at night and exhausted during the day. Progesterone also plays a meaningful role in sleep quality, which is part of why sleep disruption is such a commonly reported symptom around hormonal transitions. The fifth sign is changes in skin and hair. Things like adult acne along the jawline, unusually dry skin, thinning hair, or hair that's suddenly falling out more than usual. Androgens, a group of hormones that includes testosterone, can influence oil production in the skin, which is why hormonal fluctuations often show up as breakouts in a very specific jawline and chin pattern, different from typical teenage acne. Thyroid imbalances, on the other hand, are commonly linked to hair thinning and unusually dry, brittle skin, since thyroid hormone affects how quickly your skin and hair cells regenerate. The sixth sign is low libido or noticeable changes in sexual desire that don't seem connected to relationship or lifestyle factors. Hormones like testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone all play a direct role in sexual desire and function for both men and women. A meaningful, ongoing shift here, especially alongside other symptoms on this list, is often one of the clearer signals that something hormonal may be happening beneath the surface, rather than simply being a matter of stress or fatigue alone. The seventh and final sign is digestive issues that seem to fluctuate along with other symptoms, things like bloating, constipation, or changes in appetite that seem to follow a pattern rather than being random. Thyroid hormones directly influence gut motility, meaning how quickly or slowly food moves through your digestive system, and estrogen and progesterone fluctuations, particularly for women, are well known to influence bloating and digestive comfort throughout different points in the menstrual cycle. When digestive symptoms consistently show up alongside fatigue, mood changes, or skin issues, it's often worth considering the hormonal connection rather than treating digestion as a completely separate issue. Now, it's important to be clear about something here. These 7 signs on their own don't automatically mean you have a hormonal imbalance, and plenty of these symptoms can be caused by other factors entirely, including stress, poor sleep, nutrient deficiencies, or other underlying health conditions. What matters most is the overall pattern. Experiencing one of these occasionally is normal and part of being human, but noticing several of them together, persistently over weeks or months, is a much stronger signal that it's worth investigating further with an actual healthcare provider rather than simply pushing through and hoping it resolves on its own. If you do suspect a hormonal imbalance, the most useful first step is getting actual blood work done rather than guessing based on symptoms alone, since many hormones can be measured directly, giving you real data instead of speculation. From there, lifestyle factors genuinely do make a meaningful difference for many people. Things like prioritizing consistent, quality sleep, managing chronic stress through practices like movement or breathing exercises, eating a diet that supports stable blood sugar rather than one high in processed foods and added sugar, and ensuring you're getting adequate key nutrients like magnesium, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids, all of which play supporting roles in hormone production and regulation. Tracking your symptoms over a few weeks before your appointment can also be genuinely useful, since patterns that feel vague in the moment often become much clearer when written down day by day. Noting things like energy levels, sleep quality, mood, and where you are in your cycle, if applicable, can give both you and your healthcare provider far more useful information to work with than trying to describe everything from memory during a single appointment. The bigger picture here is that your hormones are essentially the messaging system running throughout your entire body, connecting your brain, your metabolism, your mood, and your energy levels all at once. When something feels persistently off, and it doesn't seem to trace back to an obvious cause, hormones are genuinely one of the most important places to look, precisely because they influence so many different systems simultaneously. It's also worth noting that hormonal fluctuations are a completely normal part of life, particularly around events like the menstrual cycle, pregnancy, postpartum recovery, and menopause. And experiencing some symptoms during these transitions doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong. The key distinction functional medicine tends to focus on is between expected temporary fluctuations and persistent disruptive symptoms that noticeably affect your daily quality of life over an extended period. Understanding that difference can help you decide when it's simply worth riding out a natural transition versus when it's genuinely time to seek further testing and support. That brings us to the end of today's breakdown on the 7 signs your hormones might be out of balance. If this helped you connect some symptoms you've been dealing with to a bigger underlying picture, That's exactly what this channel is here for. In our next video, we're going deep into intermittent fasting and breaking down exactly what the science says, separating what's genuinely research-backed from what's just trending. So if that sounds useful, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. If you found this video valuable, take a moment to like it and subscribe to VitaRoot Health, and drop a comment letting me know which of these 7 signs resonated with you the most, or what topic you'd like broken down next. Your questions genuinely shape what we cover here, so don't hold back. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.